Hi chat, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. We are playing more Deltarune today. Very, always excited to play more Deltarune. Always excited to be here. Gonna let some folks come in. And we'll get started. Hope y'all are having a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is. Hopefully it's going well. I had a great day. I came home from work, hung up some new lights, did some cleaning, took the dog on a walk, and let me tell you that it's just great. So yeah, well, like I said, we'll give it a minute or two. I forgot what I was gonna say. Hopefully, sorry, I'm reading some Discord things. A couple Discord notifications. All right. Chilling, hanging out, doing all the vibes. think I'll probably be streaming for 3-4 hours today. We'll see how long it goes for. And just kind of have a good time. I think that is the overall plan tonight. Please excuse my dog in the background. He likes to bark when my mother is not home. Let me get Deltarune open. Hopefully I can get some of these voices right, for Pete's sake. I am probably going to upload the VODs onto YouTube at some point, probably this weekend. And so you can rewatch it back whenever you like. As my dog is just going absolutely ham in the other room. Let me open up Deltarune, and then we'll get started. Deltarune. Continue from chapter 1. Let me open this. And yep, there it is. There it is. I'm sorry about my dog. He's lovely, but he's loud. Let me make sure everything sounds right. Okay, cool. Everything seems to sound okay. That is fantastic. Okay. Shall continue from chapter 1. I have to click on the game. Yes, continue from chapter 1. Put in 2 hours. Let's try to throw 3 more on there. 3 or 4. Continue. Oh, geez. I'm gonna have to pull these voices out again. I haven't done them in a minute. If I remember, Lancer was...
Hello, yes. You fools.
And then... Susie was kind of like a lower voice. I'll just... Hang on. Let's test it out. Not too loud. Nothing is too loud. There we go. So, ready to be a good guy again, Susie? Nah. Gotta stay being a bad guy. Gotta say, being a bad guy is pretty sweet. Not only is it way more fun than being good, but my teammates proud of what I do.
Earlier, Susie ate a pine cone off the floor. It gave her a terrible stomachache. It was very brave and cool.
See? Finally, some respect.
By the way, beware yourselves of the forest maze.
You'll probably get completely lost. Why did I have a New York accent there? Without someone who knows the way through, that is.
Yeah, I know the forest like the back of my head.
If it's the back of his head, I'm gonna lose it. I gotta get Susie locked. This just fell from the wall. Oh well. Oh. I think he went that way. Oh my gosh. Did he go the same direction?
So, which way are you going next?
We were following you.
Oh, why? I have no idea where I'm going.
Chris, let's just go wherever Lancer doesn't go. Okay. Goodbye. Oh no. Oh, crap. No! Oh, where did he go? I think he went the way. Oh. Uh-oh. Bob and weave! Oh, hi, Susie. Hey, losers! Wait a sec. Where's Lancer? Well, he wasn't going the right way, so... You let him wander off by yourself? You know he's bad at mazes, right? He's probably lost and confused right now.
Oh, I'm lost and confused.
Sorry, Susie. We didn't mean to make you worry about him. Huh? Do I look like I'm... Huh? Look, I'm not worried about him. Bad guys gotta look out for each other, that's all. Anyway, get out of my way. I'm going to find him. I have to report another light has fallen. Completely unrelated to the video game at hand. She seems she doesn't know the right way either, Chris. Well, I'm following her. Ralsei. Oh no, I'm gonna get hit several times here. Oh god. Okay, middle. Oh jeez. Oh, these guys. Gotta move, gotta move. Dude, easy, light work, no reaction. Force after maze. Easy work, easy work. What is this music? Oh, hello. What is this? Chris? Isn't that the machine we designed? Alright, this will be tough, but let's try our best. What the? Oh, that's not good, actually.
Ho ho ho! You think that's bad? Just wait. And see what happens when it starts.
It exploded. Of course it exploded. Your design sucks, so we blew it up. Ah, I see. So, now what's your plan gonna be? Turns out we didn't need a plan, just a rule.
Anyone who gets in our way
Gets crushed into dust. But, Susie, you need us to return home. Doesn't crushing us seem a little counterproductive? Nah. See, that's where you're wrong. You see, I know I can't get back without you guys. But being a good guy really isn't my style. So, I thought of a little way we can just settle this. Oh. If you can beat me, I'll go back to being a good guy. But if you lose, you guys will have to become bad guys with us. And do whatever we say.
Oh, our wish is your command.
So, what do you say? Don't bother answering. We were just gonna thrash you anyway, so... See ya! Two bad guys walked away. Okay. This is gonna suck. Because Susie does a lot of freaking damage. No, we're not fighting her. Sing. Susie fell asleep.
Oh, what a beautiful song.
I love how Lancer does it. Oh, gosh. Poor Ralsei. Smells like tea. Lancer, no, back it up. Lancer, X anything. Told Ralsei to call him. You two look like a really great team. I'm proud. Lancer started to become a little convinced.
Oh, it's working on me.
Oh gosh, ow. Ouch. Anything. We will magic. Oh, I need more. We will Lancer. No. Let's sing again. To keep Susie asleep. Susie was already asleep.
What a beautiful song.
It's the same dialogue. Having an evil laugh contest. What lies? Susie is asleep. There's no way they're having an evil laugh contest. Okay. Anything. Logically best Lancer and Susie.
You two, if we don't stop fighting, then someone might get hurt.
Lancer game more convinced. It's working.
Really? That's bad.
Other chapters of the game? Nope, this is first playthrough. First time. Here. I still can't spare him. Oh my gosh. Also, welcome to the chat. Chloe Decker 10.
You two, if we stop fighting, then I could braid your hair.
Lancer became almost fully convinced. Yawn. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna put Susie back to sleep. Susie fell asleep. Good. Oh no. I'm gonna have to die here. I should be able to pacify.
Uh-oh. What's wrong, dude? I accidentally started licking the enemies. Now seeing them just makes me feel round and soft. Bad atmosphere for the battle, though.
Well, if you don't want to fight, there's no point, I guess. Battle's over. Yay! Well, you didn't beat us. Because you, kind of cheated by ganging up on Lancer with the
Kindness.
But if I have to, I guess I'll go back to your side. But don't expect me to do anything but fight.
Well, we're happy. We're happy to have you back, Susie.
Yeah. Let's just hurry up and go home. Oh, he looks sad. He looks so sad. Water break. My goodness. Oh. Just a second. Hang on, let me crack my knuckles. He looks so sad.
Susie, does this mean we aren't a team anymore?
I mean, of course we're still a team. You can, be a part of the fun gang.
Wow, me in the fun gang? Wait, if I hang out with the good guys, then can we still have
Monongered? Oh. Why can't I read that?
Can we still have monogrammed track jackets?
Yeah, Rousey will make them. Huh? Oh, okay, sure. What is that face? What? I'm sorry, Toby Fox, what? What? Suddenly it's just, Lancer joins the team. What? Notably, I've never played this game before. Well, other than last stream. And barely seen anything about it online. I somehow have avoided most of the spoilers. And how have I never seen this face before? Oh, man. Lancer joined the team. The party. Oh.
coming, brother? You can follow behind us, you know. Oh, okay.
Why is he just sitting there?
I notice you aren't doing that. Yeah.
Is he just gonna stay there? Okay, it's just the same dialogue. Okay. I want to find something. I want to go back and not find something, but I want to explore a little bit and see if maybe there's some interesting stuff around. Cause from what I've seen, there's some secret stuff hidden around that I want to find that I don't know where they are, so I'm just gonna wander. Chris, we're getting close to the fountain. Let's not turn back now. Okay, I guess I can't turn back now. That sucks. Maybe I'll have to go back like and just do it another time. Don't know what that door is. Hello? Why is he just there? Oh, okay.
Wow, this is cool. I've never been on such a big team before.
Don't you have a legion of various guys?
Yeah, but my dad forced them to listen to me. So they don't actually like me very much.
Well, you don't need these clowns anymore. Just chill with us.
Aye aye.
And he's just gliding. Why is does he not have a walk cycle? Man, I'm still hungry. It's nothing I eat here matters. Should have stolen more money from the bake sale, I guess. I was thinking of baking a cake later. What's the catch? You have to stop making fun of me for one. Pass. I love that laugh sound. I love that laugh sound so much.
Look, Susie, a candy tree.
Hell yeah. Damn. The last piece is too high to reach.
Worry not, Susie. I have a special transformation for times like these.
Really?
Watch and learn, team.
What?
Look, stool form.
All you did was put your hands on the ground. Hey, don't act so jealous. What is the sound in the background? Got it.
Oh, tell me what it tastes like.
Huh? You haven't had it before?
Oh, I mean, I've always wondered what it's like, but I'm not allowed to pick it for myself.
Well, you tell me what it tastes like.
You're giving it to me? I thought you were hungry.
I changed my mind.
Ho ho! Candy joins the team.
All right already. All right. I love how he's just falling behind. So, what's it taste like?
Yum, yum, yum. It tastes like friendship.
What's that taste like?
Haha, like my teeth are disintegrating.
What is that laugh? I need to know. Susie's laugh is great. Both of their laughs are great. That's actually bad.
Haha, yeah, but thank you for sharing. You're a good friend.
Well, you too, I guess. How long does this go? He just keeps falling.
Just walking along with you guys feels nice. Like I'm doing something important.
That's because you're alongside the Lightners, Lancer. Our purpose? Darkener's purpose is to assist them. It's the only way we can feel truly fulfilled.
Really? But my dad hates Lightners. He wants him to.
Does your dad seem happy?
I'm not sure.
I don't know what his voice has become. Hey, let's ditch the weird purpose talk. You probably just ate a weird berry.
Yeah, I'm still boost from the juice.
I mean, look, I'm not here hanging out like this. I also feel kind of, happy? Nah. Maybe. How long is this forest? Oh, there's, I assume, the dark fountain. Look, everyone, we see the castle.
Yes, that's where I live. Me and, my dad.
What's the black thing emerging from the top? That's the fountain, Susie. If we get there, you and Chris will finally be able to go home. Jeez, took long enough. Chris, Lancer, let's go. Oh, he's not moving. Why? Oh, okay. I thought he was not going to continue walking.
Are you sure there isn't another way home? The fountain is being guarded right now. If you try to go there, you might get hurt and...
What? Come on, Lancer. No one's gonna beat a team like us. If anyone gets in our way, all we gotta do is crush them.
Oh, but what if you had to fight?
Everybody bleeds, right? Don't worry about it. Whoever it is, they'll be cold on the ground before you could blink.
But, Susie...
What?
I think I need to go.
No, don't leave. I love him. Huh? When you're gonna be back?
Never.
Hey, wait a second, Lancer. Why are you acting so weird? Susie, wait. What? They're approaching the castle. Get them! Oh gosh. This is intense. This is oh no. This is really intense. Ow. 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 I'm gonna die. I might actually die over here. Ow. Oh! Bob and weave, bob and weave. Lancer! Oh. Hey, what are you doing? Uh-oh. We've cornered them. Wait. Ow. You died. Oh. Yeah, you poor Lightners. We're told to keep you in prison for eternity. Too bad. Would have loved to see you guys punished. Haha. Ow. Well, this is fine. How do you do? Isn't it, Chris? How do you do? Oh. This is a fine how do you do. Yep, that's how I English. Sorry if I'm getting like super into the story here. I'm enjoying it. I do need to run to the restroom real quick. So, I will be back. So sit tight, hold on to your horses, and don't go anywhere, because Deltarune will be right back. I'm back. We will get back into Deltarune. Okay. Quick sip of water. Crack the knuckles. And the neck. And continue on. In prison for eternity. That sounds like it might take a while. And Susie. Where's Susie? We have to find her, Chris, before she gets hurt. Or hurts someone else. Maybe there's something we can escape with in here. Shackles seem oddly fashionable. Take them? Sure. Iron shackles put in your armor. There's a crack in the wall. What could be inside? It's more wall. Of course it's more wall. Life cannot exist without consuming. Even the moss drinks water. Perpetuate the cycle of existence? Does this mean I'm eating moss? Perpetuate. You ate the moss. Tastes mossy. Of course Chris would eat. Your HP was mossed out. Can I do it again? Moss is being eaten. The cycle continues. It's a metal door. You rattle the bars. It's no use. How? Ain't nothing to hold you down. So true. Ralsei? So, Chris, what did you find? What's all that green stuff around your mouth? Of course he'd make a comment on the fact that I just ate moss. Of course he'd make a comment on the fact that I recently ate moss. 2 minutes in jail, and you're already resorted to eating moss? Yes, Ralsei, I haven't resorted to eating moss. I love moss. Moss tastes so good. Yummy. You're a real go-getter, Chris. So, you couldn't find anything? Well, Chris, let's not give up hope just yet. But, if we don't make it for some reason, then I just wanted to say, I'm glad I was able to meet... Hey, idiots! Can you shut up? I'm trying to concentrate. The hat came off. Susie, where are you? I don't know. Prison? Seriously, though. I'm out of my cell. My sweet talked warden into giving me the keys. Susie, already? How? Uh-oh. I invited him to visit the trash can. Anyway, now there's a puzzle in the way. Okay, solve it, Susie. Uh-oh. Is she dumb? I don't do puzzles. Hey, how about we just sit tight and wait for Lancer? He lives in the castle. He's bound to come save us. Why don't Chris and I just help you solve the puzzle? Look, I don't need your help. But if you said what to do out loud, I wouldn't stop you. Chris, tell Susie what to do. It would be add spade. No. Yes. Add spade, add diamond, swap, spade. I'm so good at these puzzles, man. Yes! We did it! Great. Now come and free us. All right, all right. I can't get, like, that... I can't get my voice high enough and also sounding low enough to match, like, the energy of Susie. I gotta work on that. Also gotta drink more water. Jeez. Her voice is the one that like scratches up my throat. Thanks for helping her, Chris. She appreciates it. Chris, are you worried about Susie? Am I worried about Susie? I mean, she does have a freaking axe. And a cool axe at that. Am I worried about Susie? That is such a thought-provoking question. No. She's fine. Well, regardless of how you feel, I don't think it would hurt to take a moment. Close your eyes and think about what she's doing now. Alright, out of the cell. Where to next? Let's go right. Huh? Chris, how did you say something back there? I can't hear them anymore. I'll just go this way. Uh-oh. Well, that's a dead end. That's Lancer's voice. Damn, not another one of these. Maybe I should go back and ask Chris.
Make sure they...
Lancer. I'll just do it myself. Oh my gosh. There you go. Good job.
Understand. They have to stay in their cells. The Lightners can't be allowed to escape. Especially the purple one.
Lancer? Susie? Oh, I did that in the wrong voice.
Susie? What are you doing here?
Lancer? Chris and Rosie are still locked up.
I know. I was the one who told my troops to put you down there. To keep you down here. Forever.
Lancer? You wanted to get rid of us? I thought we were a team.
I can explain, Susie.
Nah. It's fine.
fine, actually. Don't have to say anything. I get it. I get it, you know. Why would anyone really want to be my friend anyway?
Susie, that's not...
Shut up. Shut up! Oh no. Oh no. Get out of my way. Did you hear me? Get out of my way.
No.
Did you not hear me? Man, I tried to warn you.
Oh, shit.
Don't expect me to feel guilty. When they have to clean you off the floor! Want to see what happens to traitors? Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This is peak. I gotta...
You guys couldn't hear me the whole time. Oh, man. Well, I read, but you didn't hear the voices I was doing for like the past 5 minutes. Oopsies. I was making comments about how good the music was. I'm a goof. Well, sorry about that. I knew I knew something was off when I stopped hearing myself. That is hilarious. I wonder. I mean, I could go back, but I think what I'll do is I'll live with it. I'll live with it. It's fine. Which way do I go? This way? Save point. Prison. Is there anything this way? Oh, who are these guys? Whoa. We're the 3 former kings. We beg you, free us. Once all 4 of us ruled together, but the night arrived, everything changed. Oh, my diamonds, my jewels, you must tell me if they're all right. Oh! What'd you say? Your world is in danger? Well, that's a shame, isn't it? I was arrested for making a puzzle without license. I'll never make another word search, I promise. What are these? Like, I'm Golden Sam. Since I didn't want to fight you guys, I got locked up. How can I? You guys seem way nicer than the king. Are these animal crackers? What are these? Us animals used to be alone in these cages. Now everyone's here. So many people who wish we could go back to the good old days when it was just us in these filthy cages. Okay, so there's nothing else in this room. Oh. Elevator. Alright, this lift should take us out of here. Now, it might take a while, so... Oh. Get comfy, everyone. I love how he sat down. It was just so chill. Hey, Ralsei. You know Lancer's dad, the king, right? Yes. When we meet him, you think we'll have to hurt him? Susie? I mean, I could easily smash him, but... Guys, I know that's not really your thing. You're more about groveling like total losers. I was thinking, maybe I could do that too. Susie, you mean you want to try acting? Well... Susie, we'd be happy if you acted with us. And don't worry, we'll be there to help you. You won't have to figure it out by yourself. Sure, alright. Hey, Ralsei. Susie? Are you still gonna make those cakes? Well, if you stop making fun, will you stop making fun of me? Well, if I have to, I guess. Then I'll bake you as many as you'd like, alright? Yeah. Like you could make that many, dude. Oh. Okay. Well, this is our stop. Hey, Chris, wait a sec. You know, I'm starting to realize it'll be easier for us to get out of here if we all get along a little more. So next time we fight an enemy, if you tell me what to do, I'll listen to you. But
Don't tell me anything stupid, or I'll go back to smashing heads, alright? Okay. Chris, I'm counting on you, okay? Susie joined your party for real. Yay! Yippee! Time to save, so I don't have to do the elevator again. Elevator to prison, formerly known as elevator to basement, which just happened to have a lot of cages. Oh, nose. Elevator to top floor. Currently stuck at top floor until someone rides it down. Okay. Of course, I'm gonna be grooving this. Axe. Ruby Ranger. Compliment. And you can't do it, so you're gonna defend. Told Susie to compliment the enemy. Are you serious? What good can I say about somebody trying to kill us? Aw, Susie, if you're stuck, why not try saying something you wish someone to say to you? You're unbanned from free ham sandwich steak. You're telling me Susie is banned from ham sandwich steak? Oh, jeez. Woo! Bobbing, freaking weaving. Okay, so compliment, and then we'll spare this one. Susie complimented the enemy, question mark. Nice. You guys look like you're gonna kill me. We're also spared. No one ever said that to me before. Ow. Ow. I need to heal. I need to heal. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Item. Lancer cookie. Chris. And we'll spare. Susie, and then with 5 minutes. Chris used Lancer cookie. We're scared. And we won. Yay! Hooray! Yes, that's a door. Oh, hello, Rudens. We sold all of our beds to replace them with treasure. My back hurts, but life has never been better. Hey, it's you. You're that peaceful lightner. Whoa, you had tamed the beast that was tormenting us. Beast? What beast? Oh, you even taught the beast to talk? Here, have a Choco Diamond. You got the Choco Diamond. Yay! I can heal Susie. Normal, everyday riches acquired from a legitimate source. Of course, my dog is gonna bark relentlessly. Upstairs. Why is it all black and white? Okay, rush. Up. Oh, can't go up. Ooh, almost hit that. Oh, crap. So the worms have decided to crawl out and play. Who's there? Oh, it's freaking Rules Card. Those fools. I am Rules Card, thou greatest adversary. Thou may have clawed past those other conundrums, but thou were created with by utter weaklings. Now prepare yourself for the strongest puzzle of thou's life. Toil worms. Easy. God damn it! Okay. Bye, Rules Card. What a peculiar character. Why does he speak like that? Thou solveth the puzzle. Open the treasure chest. Inside was a club sandwich. Put the club sandwich in your items. Castle bathroom. Royal flush. Currently occupied. I've played enough Balatro to know what a royal flush is. How do I get through? Ooh. Oh. Uh-oh. get past the queens here. Okay. Head Hattie, block the way quietly. Times 3. Block the way quietly, and I will defend. Order Susie to flirt with the enemy. And hell no. Susie, it's okay if you don't know how. What? Shut up. It's not a problem. Are you sure? Alright, look, wise guy. I'll show you. Watch this. So, come here often?
Oh my gosh. Why did that work? So Susie has immaculate riz. Is that what this game is trying to tell me? Is that Susie has immaculate riz? And I'm not using that word lightly.
Hey, get back here and flirt with me. Let me flirt with you. They respond with hearts. Oh! Uh-oh, Chris died. Smells like a lonely kiss. First off, bring you back to life. And we will defend again. Ow, that hurts a lot. Head out, flirt. And we will heal Susie. Or does Susie flirt again? Hell no. Let's see where else. I suppose if it can't be helped. Hathi, your beauty is just transcendent. Your hair is like a waterfall of... Wait, do you have hair or... Hathi felt awkward and loud. Oh here, wait. Not so easy, huh? Okay, this should be a bit easier. Oh. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Mine isn't the SpongeBob reference. I should be able to spare. Oh my god, Chris. I can't do it. Do it yourself. You said some sweet lines, but the enemy's just deeply in. And we'll see. Spares. Cool. Where do I go? Oh. Looks like Hathi sold all the gems and replaced it with beds. Looks extremely well slept. Hathi looked at you kindly. Your sins against Hathi were forgiven. Looks like a bed. Will you rest here? No, you won't. It's not your bed. I mean, I could sleep there if it was like a Pokemon game. Okay. Hide in this corner. I love how Hathi just doesn't see where I'll say just standing there. Uh-oh. Paper dolls. They do damage. They do damage. Run straight down. Oh, can't go that way. Hey, hey, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Oh my gosh, how did I survive? Oh, it's another rules card. It's like Jesse from Pokemon. Yeah, those guys really think that was all I had. Wronger. It's time for you to feel my real power. Behold, my ultimate puzzle. How about you? This guy's a character. He's fun. Ha ha ha. Gullible worms. That wasn't really my ultimate puzzle. I have a waste better one right here. Can we see it? No. Okay. I guess we can't see his puzzle. Okay. Jeez. Spade room. Yo! It's a boombox. It's playing clubs music. Can't see it. You can't see it, but I'm grooving. I'm dancing. I feel like this would go crazy. Remixed at a nightclub. Hattie is the second party member. It is the healer. She was in charge of catering the party. Fortunately, the cake she commissioned was destroyed in the field somewhere. Oh no. It's a tree for parties. What? Oh, let us take your coat and put it in the toilet, which we don't even have. Please try the baseballs. Yeah, eat so many, you choke. Do they eat sports? Then we can all play Twister. Just stay out of our way. We lose even by ourselves. I'm the first party member. I'm in charge of the DPS, Dance and Party soundtrack. It's a bed for 3 people. Or 1 3-headed person. Alright. Kinda banging room there. Oh. More stairs. 5th floor. How did I get to the 5th floor? Shop. Oh, there he is. Look at him. Look at him. He's got little worms. He's got worms.
Welcome to my shop, ungrateful worms.
What do you got? Rules. Fragrant sauce. What the hell is a fragrant sauce? Brave Axe. Heroic and cool. Homemade healing up. Dainty scarf for 200. I will get that. Amber card. Sure, I'll buy 3. And then I'll buy rules. Oh, it's a rules. Like what they make gumbo with. Yeah, I'll get one. Thanks, Worm. What do you have to say?
I'm the Duke of Puzzles rules card. My hobbies include calligraphy, law keeping, and bug keeping cages, and long walks in the dungeon. Artist thou of one of my admirers, Worm?
Why settle us?
Ha ha! So I might, as sumeth funds, worms, an army of funds, so that I may crush as thou like fermented grapes into a most delicious and adult beverage.
Wine?
Vengeance, ha ha! Oh, how I amuseth myself. Our Lord King art a cruel and terrifying monarch. However, he is also brilliant. For me, he decideth to appoint me as Duke of Puzzles. After pretty much if everyone else was firedest, or placed inside a cage, truly benevolent ruler.
I love his design. And this freaking shop theme. Dude. I love it. King's son.
His son, on the other hand, is more troublesome than a fistful of fleas. He's always ask me the worst queries, and calleth me his lesser dad. Our relation is none, you little water beetle. I placate for your father's sake. I do not wish to hear your MP3s. I'd rather listen to the sweet song of death. How is he, anyhow?
I love him. I love him. His design is awesome. I feel like I could... You know what? His cosplay is probably really easy.
I could do that. I don't have a Discord yet, but I'll have one soon.
See thou in the dungeon, worms.
I hate bots. Okay, that's probably the main one. What is this? What the hell? Found 20 rupees in the hole. Unfortunately, that's not a useful currency here. It's a hole made recreationally. There's salsa buried in the ground here. Is this Lancer's room? He was the one eating salsa out of a tree stump. It's a hole presumably dug for fun. Some kind of digging implement. Music player. Listen to the... It's full of cartoon splat noises. That's where that sound... I keep hearing that sound. Of course I'm gonna play it again. What the hell? It's a bicycle. A bicycle is lovingly tucked into bed. Oh, it's changed the picture to stick out his tongue. Actually, what is this? Uh-oh. Enough, worms. Oh, it's rules.
Thou mayest cheated through mine puzzles, but in combat thou shalt be scattered about. Come, knaves, prepare for battle with. Whatever this is, not this guy again.
Huh? It's the enemy from earlier. Its crown looks different.
Yes, with my control crown, I mayest control any disc-shaped life form.
Oh no. It looks like it's in pain. It looks the same.
Yes, the control crown is painful, but I'm certain this creature will feel its relief when it sees how much more pain thou will be in.
Here it comes again. Oh no. What is Susie's idea? Susie, you want to act? Oh, what's your idea? Well, how do I say this? Kinda need you for this one. That's fine, Susie. I'll help. I want you to apologize for it. For earlier, right? I just need you to stay still. Chris, we gotta get that crown off its head. Help me throw Rousey at it. Press C to determine angle. We're throwing Rousey. Why are we throwing Rousey? There. Oh no. I am gonna miss. Crown loosened a little. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. I know he does a lot of damage. Crown is 20% loose. Throw. Throw the child. Boink. Crown loosened a little. Ooh, dodge, dodge. Bob and weave, bob and weave. Give me those TP points, though. Crown is 40% loose. We'll bow. And Susie has magic? Defend. No. K round, throw. There. There. Got him. Smacked him in the head. Crown loosened a little. Oh! Ow, jeez. Ow, ow. Oh, no. Okay, I gotta heal. Actually... bow. And then we will heal... Wolves Rule to Rousey. And we will defend.
Back. Crown loosen a little. What the hell? What the hell? What is he doing? Slow. Doink! Crown greatly loosened. Dang. Oh. And he rolled away.
Why? Brilliant. Just brilliant. I knew you could do it. Thou great heroes thou. Thou seest, that was merely a friendly test of thine abilities. But thou hast won, and now nothing blocks thine path. I personally could not be less of an obstruction. But you... Luck be with you, heroes.
Okay. Oh, he ain't here. Why is he not here? It's a throne. Seems to have damaged in a struggle. Riches. They shine with avarice. Riches. They shine with avarice. Right? Avarice. The wall banners. They seem to have been through some kind of struggle. What struggle happened here? Hey, there's Lancer. Oh. Father! Lancer, my son. Have you dispatched the Lightners as I commanded?
No, but I did even better. It turns out we don't actually have to fight them. They said you could just talk to you.
They're alive!
Yes, and I think you'll like them a lot. There's Susie. She's very purple and strong.
Where are they now? Hi. That was perfect. Hey.
It's nice to meet you.
Lancer, my son.
Yes, father.
Do you remember what I told you?
Don't get too attached.
You have failed. They have poisoned you with their sentimentality. Free yourself, Lancer. They care not for you. Their only goal is to destroy our glorious fountain. They are scum.
No, they aren't.
What did you say?
Oh! Shit!
Oh my gosh. I'm getting chills from this. I feel like every other freaking song in this game gives me chills.
Let him go.
Back to the game. You want me to let him go? Then how about this?
I hate seeing him with the... He's freaking sad. No.
I'll drop him off the edge and let him splatter, unless you all kneel and learn your place. What will it be, Lightners?
Don't listen to him, Susie. He'll...
Oh, shit. Now watch. My lights have fallen again. Now watch, Lancer. See what happens when you befriend Lightners. What the? You traitor, come back here.
Alright, enough already. Who the hell do you think you are?
To my people, I am a hero. To you, I am the bad guy. King blocked the way. Oh, there is not an option for one person talking. It's just Ralsei or Susie talking. Defend. Now, Susie tried to reason with the king. All right, listen up. Lancer's my friend. If he can get by without hurting you, then... if I perish, so be it. Show my son the monster you really are. All right. You want to see what I can do, huh? Susie's will is changing. Talk. Became Red Buster? How dare you come here like this? Oh, okay. He does damage. King's mounts gave it a berserk smile. No. You're not fighting King. Talk. Defend. Rossi tried to reason with the king. You might not realize it, but this is a world where you do not have to fight. I know if we try, we can find another way. Such simple-minded platitudes. A shame you will not live to realize your naivety. Now, perish with the pathetic lightness you worship. Sorry, my friends and I aren't going anywhere. Rossi's will is changing. Talk became dual heel. You that left us in the shadows, stripped us of... Oh! Okay. I might not have a freaking option to fight here. Susie's club sandwich. Susie spared the king. His name wasn't yellow. You dare return to torment us once again? Oh dear. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna hit him. Actually, no. Act. King. Red Buster. And then... Your soul shine with power on Susie. Red Buster. Oh! Be gone. We have found a fresh purpose. Oh, gosh. Oh, dear. Jeez. No. Defend. Heal prayer. Spare tired foe. Not tired. Oh, I almost died there. Well, the night has appeared. Okay. Oh, gosh. Not again. Rousey's gonna freaking die. Uh-oh. Defend. Spell. Heal prayer. Heal your... Chris. Cast heal prayer. Light that pulls the fountain from the earth. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. Goodness. I don't have a dual heal. Talk. Defend. And I think I can do heal prayer on Chris. Try the reason with the king. Silence, Lightbringer. Your very existence goes against our own. By the night's will, I shall shatter your heart to pieces. Your will is changing. Talk became courage. Rossi cast heal prayer. Holy fountains whose shadows are creating a new world. Our world. Oh gosh. I went right into that. Axe. Defense boost. I really just have to defend here. I don't have an option. I really don't have an option. Hi, now do you see our purpose? Ooh! Ah! Well, soon this world shall be blanketed in darkness. I think I am going to lose. Jesus. Okay. peace. May I see what it's like to live in despair. Oh, well, that's it. Appears you've reached an end. Will you try again? Yes. Then the future is in your hands. Okay. So, same dialogue. I can skip it all. Choking your child is absolutely insane. There's that music dialogue. Woo. Skip right to the battle. Hell, I'm gonna have to fight him from the start. I don't want to, though. Would that technically put me in a bad route if I killed him? Oh. I don't have an option. Yeah, it's the same dialogue. Ow, that freaking hurt. Axe. Dual heal, defense boost. You don't have enough for root busters. You will defend. You will defend. Curves the party. Defense raised by Ow. That's huge. Huge buff there. So I'll dual heal. And I can't do anything there. Attack. Full shine with power. Yeah, dual heal. Damn. Missed that. Big time. Be gone. We found fresh purpose. Oh gosh. Chris is low in health. I don't know if I have an option. The sound is throwing me off so much. Chris is dead. Love sandwich. Magic. Can't pacify. Do I just wait him out? Heal prayer on Chris. Sandwich. Heal prayer holds the fountains from the earth. Oh, yikes. I don't have enough heal. Out of battle. Do I have to kill him? But nothing happened. Holy fountains, the shadows who created a new world. Our world. Ow. So I think I do have to fight him. Oh my gosh. He's got a lot of health. Power on suit. Soon this world will be blanketed in darkness, and darkness shall rule it. So racism. Oh my gosh. This fight is sucks. Not even half health. I might actually clean this up. Because I don't know if I'm supposed to kill him. How? Let's find out. Because I don't know if I'm supposed to kill him. So I have to fight him. I still overcome this fight without resorting to violence. You simply need to wait and fight. Okay. So we're not fighting here. Courage and defend and heal. Never mind. Ooh. That's really bad. Defend, heal prayer, Chris. Fall before the change. Shit! Oh, fuck. Damn it. Damn it! I need to get more healing items from Rules card. So we can get some water real fast. Damn it! So it's difficult. That's good to know. Oh, hello. It's previously violent expression has turned into kindness. You will now live a peaceful life. I need to buy some stuff from Rules. Yo! I still love this beat, man. And you know what? Let me check through my inventory and see if I have like things to equip. Items. Use. No. It's here. I forgot to do the what is that? Attack 11 defense. That just increased defense. That increases attack. Let's do Amber card and Amber card. And then fluffiness up. Alright. And we'll put an Amber card here. Alright. Power. What is this? Commands a party with various acts. Does damage using dark energy. Fluffiness 2. I love the stats. Hilarious. Okay, that is. I've done everything I can. I'll save up here. Saved. And then. I am going to take a quick vocal break just for a minute. And get some more water. I just ran out, so sit tight, relax, hold on to your toes, elbows, and whatever other appendages you have on your body. I will be right back with more Deltarune.
microphone was muted the entire time. Guys, I gotta look at OBS more. My microphone was muted the entire time. I swear, I'll get better at this eventually. So you missed an entire vocal dialogue. I gotta drink some water. I wish I had a more active chat.
Yikes. I think someone needs a timeout. Go to your room, Dad.
No! You alright, Chris?
Chris, Susie. Oh, you're all right.
Yeah. It'll take more than that to take us down. Chris, Susie, I'm sorry. Because I healed the king, we almost... Susie, you were right. I was foolish to think we could act so soft to everyone. This isn't a world where kindness always wins, is it? It's complicated. Yeah, sometimes there's people you just gotta fight. If you never let your guard down, then you might just hurt someone you care about. Aw, Susie. You're beginning to sound like a real hero. Don't get used to it. Then I suppose you and Chris should return home now. Yeah, I guess that's right, huh? I don't want to. Well, see ya. Bye, Ralsei. Oh, I don't want to leave. Hey, Chris. Wait a second. Look. I know you want to give a real goodbye to everyone, right? I mean, I'm all for leaving right away, but, you know, we can go back a sec if you wanted. Sure. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's head back. I'm going back. Chris, Susie, you came back? Well, Chris just wanted to say bye, you know? Oh, actually, everyone here wanted to say goodbye too. Please let me know when you leave, alright? Yeah. We'll try not to skip you. Oh, way to go, kids. Now we can go back to making the puzzles we love. And thanks to your donation, I could buy a new hat and some shaving cream. Best. You're the best. Honestly, we owe you. You're absolutely amazing. Progress. Bork. Even a little ball can say something like thank you. Thank you! I can get back to being a coat hanger now. By the by, I asked Seem to come, but there wasn't any interest. Darn, Horsey. You've done us a big help. Now all of us pieces can live in pieces. You did it. You ousted that rotten tyrant. I'll happily accept the bounty of credits for my contributions, unless the king reappears in case I did nothing. Wonderful work, mine amigos. Thou hast toppled the tyrant, freed as thou creedest. Truly, the history shall not forget the tale of Ruzcard and the three heroes. Is there more? There is. I knew you could do it. Though I was your enemy, I was cheering for you. That's how much I disliked my job. The future looks sweet. Like a pile of bees' puke. Which is honey, I think. A kingdom of so much hope. With so much hope. Hope you didn't screw it up. That means thank you. Come to our next birthday, too. We'll have one soon, if that's possible. Hathy looks at you proudly. Kiss. What's going on? I slept through everything.
of the animals. What? Oh, what about us? Aren't we going to be restored as kings? Ah, my treasure is unharmed. Carry on then. Us animals decided it's okay if the kings stay in cages as well, but they'll have to put on animal ears and noses. This guy, I don't remember his name.
Mamma mia! What a celebration! This calls for a cake. And this time, I'll make it out of metal so animals can't eat it.
I'll be honest, at first, we weren't sure if our new king, Lancer has always been a bit of a pain, but after seeing how nice he treats you guys, I think he'll be fine.
Susie, blue person, whose name I neglected to learn all along. I thought you were going homeways.
We were, but Chris wanted to say bye, you know?
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. I thought you wanted to say bye because we were friends.
Huh? I did not want to. So you're the king now, huh?
Yes, and I'm changing some big rules. First, Lightners are now legal. Second, prison is only for dads.
Sounds like some pretty good changes. Hey, your dad was protecting the fountain, right? Is it gonna be okay if we mess with...
I have no idea. But it's you guys, so I trust you. If something bad happens, we'll fix it.
Yeah, I guess I'll see. I guess. Well, see you later.
Come back soon. There's always room in town for a couple of clowns.
Because you rescued it, it grew deep respect for you. Well, actually, maybe shrunk to respect you.
I can't go past... Damn. Honestly, as much as I forgot to unmute my microphone today, and the past 2 streams of Deltarune, my return has been really great. And I will be playing Chapter 2. Maybe I'll start it today. Maybe. It's already getting kind of late for me, so I do want to go to bed. It's a much shorter stream than I anticipated. So, I don't know if there's anything else. Chris, Susie, are you leaving? Hell if I know. I'm just following Chris. I guess we'll just walk to the right if we are. Susie, Chris, are you going to leave? I just wanted to say I really enjoyed meeting you two, and... Hey, can you stop mumbling in your hat for a sec? I can barely hear you, dude. Oh, sorry. Chris? Susie? I hope I can see you again soon. Next time, I'll make you lots of yummy cakes, alright? Huh? Yeah, sure, dude. Let's go, Chris. I love the reaction. Yeah, if there's nothing else after this point, then, I'm probably gonna end the stream after this. We'll see. Is this the fountain? Don't know how, but it feels like we stumbled into something really important, didn't we? Well, no time to think about that now. Right now, it's time to go home. Right, Chris? As you stood in front of the fountain, you felt something strange. It was as if your very soul was glowing. What happened? I can't see anything. Hey, watch it.
Is that Toby?
Huh? The unused classroom. How did we get here? Hey, Chris. What just happened? Like, that wasn't a dream or anything, was it?
I hope not.
Anyway, as I was saying, let's just tell Alphys we couldn't find any chalk.
It's a yellowed, poorly drawn picture of a green turtle. Signed Alvin. Playing cards spill out of a deck in the closet. It's a checkerboard. There are pawns strewn on it. It's a worn down stuffed animal. The door is locked. It's a light switch.
Man, the sun's already setting? Everyone else must have gone home by now. Guess Alphys will know better than us to ask us next time, huh?
I'm sorry about my dog, folks.
Well, guess we should go. See you later, I guess. Chris? Let's go back there tomorrow, alright?
Oh. Susie actually smiling. Like, that is so nice.
Damn. I'm not gonna explore. Ring ring.
Chris? Whatever have you been doing? I sat in the car waiting for you after school for an hour and a half, or for half an hour. I called and called, but you never picked up. You had your poor mother worried sick. Chris, I'm afraid I'm going to have to punish you. Huh? A friend? You're spending time with a friend? Chris, I will make an exception this time. You can continue your adventures a little longer, but when you return home, you are going to have to go to bed early. See you soon, honey.
Click.
This has been such a phenomenal experience. To be your Birdley. Chris, you survived. Susie, I was getting worried. Now you can finally pay off your family debt. How to Draw Dragons is
2,583 days overdue.
last time I had an overdue book, I owed $100. It can't be that much.
However, Chris, I'm a benevolent volunteer assistant. If you turn it in this week, I'll reduce your fine to a mere $64.23. Consider it, Chris.
Good gravy. He looks through the window into the computer lab. Seems to be a dog inside working at a computer. Is it Toby? Seems like making a game. It's Toby. Seems like you shouldn't interrupt it. Seems like when the game's finished, you can go in. Just have to trust the dog. Well, good news for me, that game is already finished. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's you. Are you here to pay the piano again? The patients can't hear it well from here, but I personally enjoy it.
It's an obligatory hospital piano, shrunk to fit in the corner. As a result, it's missing most of the good keys. Play it? Sure. Just fucking smace. It's a diagram showing a bunch of lines and a circle.
Thank you, Toby. Very cool.
Oh. Haha. Dad. I can't just say that to her. Oh my god, I die. Literally die.
Noelle, sweetheart. First time I laid eyes on your mother, I walked right up to her and told her she was a hot piece of work.
Really?
Yeah, she slapped me so hard I blacked out.
Dad, that doesn't help at all.
Anyhow, how's Dragon Blazers 3? Beat again?
Nah, I'm still on the ice palace. I'm kind of waiting to finish it with you, Dad. Noel. Maybe you shouldn't wait. Dad? You should bring it here. I'm bored as hell. Fine, you win. I'll bring it next time. Oh, it's getting late. Guess I better go. I've got homework. Oh, that's the group project voice. Bird guy again. What's his name? Nerdly? It's some Birdly, Dad. He's not that bad. I'll kick his ass. Huh. Dad, you're not even supposed to get up. Bring him by the window and I'll throw something at him. Goodbye, Dad. Bye, honey. Hi, Noel. Oh, Chris. Okay. I don't want to be in here. Oh, can't go that way. Why is the road blocked off? Police tape is blocking the way. The tape simply reads, ah! I'm guessing that is her doing. Hey, punk! Get out of the road! You're blocking the traffic! Oh, wait, it's just Asgore's kid. Sorry, I'm a little worked up lately. This job is so boring. Nothing ever happens in this town. Ugh. Just wish something would shake things up. Huh? Got something to report? Nothing. Don't do anything illegal, you little punk. Let me know if you get a lead on the purple rose. There's one wanted on several counts of comic mischief. What's to the north? QC's Diner? Hey, it's all the previous game's characters.
Looking at my rugged body, you must wonder what kind of secrets I hold. My secret is I put all my leftover pancakes in this giant hat. It's turning into like a Jimmy Neutron.
Not Jimmy Neutron.
Turning into a Carl Weezer. A bit of a Carl Weezer type situation for this little mouse guy.
I like the vibe of the waitresses here. Should sign up too. Nah, serving drinks wouldn't really suit a fire elemental. If I get nervous, I just melt all the ice.
Hey there! Haven't seen you in a while, hon. I remember back on Sundays after service, you and your family would come in and order the special. Of course, things happen and then y'all stop coming together. But every Sunday, you and your brother still come in. He'd order you a hot chocolate, and you two would sit down there at the table in the corner, drawing shapes in the window with your breath. Must really miss him, huh? Here, how about this? Got a hot chocolate. On the house, hun.
You're alive. Nice. I'm working.
We'll take the special. And, do you have any edible glitter?
The youngest one won't eat anything that doesn't look like treasure. Ice Wolf does not like ice and drink. Ice Wolf like ice. To be drink! Dude, remember when you used to skip the first hour of class and come here? You were fine, but almost had to repeat the year because of it. Those crepes were mad worth it, though. Delinquency is the best compliment. My dog won't stop barking. Ice me up, boss. Entrance is locked. No one's inside. Seems like all the employees are outside in costume. What? I don't even want to talk to these fools. What the hell? Sans? Hello? Hey, look who's walking around. How are you, kid? Who the hell are you?
Good question. I'm Sans, your friendly neighborhood skeleton. What's up? Behind me? Yeah, that's the grocery store. Unfortunately, it's closed. What a pain. I really wanted to buy some milk. Someone ought to complain to the guy who runs it. What's up? We just moved there, so I hardly know anyone. Why, got anyone I should know better?
My mom.
Your mother, huh? Too late. Already befriended your mom last night! Oh!
Wait. He's doing my mom.
Already befriended your mom last night. She's great. Come to the store and buy some chocolate kisses. She said you gotta lock her door to stop you from eating you. Sound like a fun kid, huh? Hey, bud. Are you busy tomorrow? I need some help with something. It'd be great if you could come over. I live just like next door, you know? Sure. Wow, you were deliberating for a while. Gee, what's wrong? Don't want to hang out with a stranger? Well, guess I shouldn't complain.
I died to him like 13 times or something like that.
What are we gonna be doing? Oh, I'm not gonna be there. That's weird. Just gonna be you. Wait, it's gonna be you and my little brother. He needs friends. Thanks for hanging out with him. See ya.
No response.
But a distant trousseau of bones.
It's Papyrus. Papyrus lives in there. Hey, where is the house? I need to end this stream quick. Oh, hi, Alphys.
Oh, Chris, you're okay. I was really worried when you didn't come back. Where did you go? Did you skip class? Well, don't worry about it. I'm the cool teacher, you know. You're not in trouble. Well, let me know if you need anything.
I'm not gonna ask. What she's doing back there. All I know is there was a weird plate of liquid, white liquid. Where is my house? It's Napstablook. Is he home? Afraid no one's home right now, darling. Why don't you go prance on home? Flower King. It's Asgore.
Driving in my car.
Oh, is someone there? Just a moment. I'm almost finished watering all of these flowers. Here we are. Howdy, how can I... Oh, Chris. I need somebody to hug me like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you don't like hugs like that. Maybe. Well, now, make yourself at home, Chris. Help yourself to anything you like. I will. No? Okay. It's cash register. There's not much change inside. It's a flower.
Is that Flowey? Is that yellow motherfucker? Shame. Why does he have different colored flowers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Why does he have 7 soul colored flowers? Asgore, why do you have the 7 souls as flowers?
Yes, these flowers are still kicking. Quite hard to take care of them in this climate. Why do you have them? It's a purple flower protected in a container. Blue flower protected in a container. Cyan flower. Golden flower. Yellow flower protected in a container. It's an orange flower protected in a container. And green flower protected in a container. where he lives. It's very sad. Small TV on top of some superhero comics. Very dad of him. It's a rusty fridge with some photos on it. Oh, Chris, if you're hungry, help yourself to anything you want. Open fridge. Outside is a jar. Single pickle. You decide to pass. I want to look at the pictures. Some photos on it. See photos. Photo of you and your mother. Of your mother and your father on their wedding day. She's holding a bouquet of 7 flowers. A reindeer-looking monster stands nearby in a tuxedo. They all look happy. There's some dirty fur stuck in the drain. It's a door. It's locked. Dirty watering can. Various bags of soil. Okay, goodbye. Oh. Oh, Chris, before you go. Here, for your mother. Our secret. With a bouquet of flowers. Thank you. Thank you, Dad. Oh, why is Noelle at the gate? Oh, hey, Chris. Did you need help with your homework again? I knew you were having trouble last time, so I actually got a few things ready for you in case... wait, sorry. I can't right now. I forgot my house key again. And sorry, Chris. I'll help you later, if that's okay. See you at school, Chris. Chris, did you want to talk about something? Susie. Susie, that's right. You were with Susie. You didn't come back to class. I was worried, but everything turned out okay, I think. Chris, can I ask you something if that's okay? Susie, I'm kind of curious what she's like, you know? I mean, who doesn't wonder about her? She never talks to anyone. So, Chris, could you tell me about her if that's okay?
She eats chalk.
She's nice. What? She's a nice person? Really? Like, really? Honestly, truly? I mean, that's just what I was hoping, but... Wait, this isn't another trick, is it, Chris? Like when you put ketchup on your arms and told me it was blood? Really? You're serious? You're totally serious? Gosh. I maybe should try to talking to her. If I die, you're paying for my funeral, Chris. Though, honestly, if she is nice, I might die too.
Does she have a crush on Susie? Do we get lesbians? Can I foster a lesbian relationship in this game between two different people?
I love it.
As soon as I find where I live... Oh, here we go.
Hi, Toriel.
Welcome home, honey. Did you have fun with your friends today? By the way, I just finished baking a pie. If you go to bed, it'll be cool when you wake. But do not eat it at this time, alright? Okay. I will go direct to upstairs. Wait, I need to ask. It's only you. Oh. Okay. Nothing different, nothing new. If you go to bed, this chapter of your adventures will end. Will you go to bed? Yes. You decided to go to bed. Oh. I was about to say that's it, but no. What the what? I'm sorry. Chris is an avid sleepwalker? What? Grabby fingers. Oh! What? I can't move. Why can't I move? What the? No. 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 I'm scared. I don't like this. That's it. I think that's it.
When the light is running low and the shadows start
It's the
to
credits.
grow and the
Chapter 1 was
places that
great.
you know seem like
I almost don't want to talk
fantasy.
over this.
There's a light inside your soul that's still shining in the cold with the truth, the promise in our hearts. Don't forget it. I'm with you in the dark.
To be continued. Yeah, that is the end of chapter 1. Did it in 2 separate streams. Had a great time playing through it. Might be running it back to if I stream tomorrow, I'll probably try to go through the oh, okay. Can I skip this? I just need to see where it puts me. Oh, okay, it puts me at the throne. Let me do this. Yeah, but chapter 1 done in 2 streams is incredible. Honestly, huge step for me coming back to streaming. There will be more of this. I think I might stream tomorrow if I have the time, and I'll definitely stream sometime this weekend. Probably at least 1 or 2 more times this weekend. I want to try to do it earlier in the day tomorrow if I can, and maybe earlier on Saturday if I can, and definitely Sunday for sure. Again, if I can, if time permits. I want to thank everybody for coming in, chatting, saying hi. Whenever that did happen, a couple technical difficulties along the way, but there's only more to come. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who stopped on by. If you're watching this in the later, please follow me so you can see the rest of my goofy little antics here. And of course, I will see you on the next stream. Take care.